Anyone can set up Google ads for a personal injury firm, but how do you actually make them work? Meaning get cases and consistently, not here and there, but every single week deliver. Let's walk through it. We've seen firms burn through 10, 20, 30, 40, up to 50,000 a month and either get no cases or terrible cases. It's not random. You shouldn't think of PPC as lottery tickets. There's a rhyme and a reason to why every single PPC ad shows up where it does on Google, how often it shows up, and in front of who. Google has the data to know who's more likely to have been in a serious accident or not. Just last week, we started working with a new injury firm in Chicago who had a terrible taste in their mouth from PPC, bad PPC experiences. Within 5 days, we got them one of the most valuable cases so far this quarter. And it's because we follow a system, and it's the exact system I'm gonna walk you through. It's a system we use for every PI firm we work with in 2025. But first, quick intro. I'm Jake Soffer, CEO and founder of Firm Pilot. Really simple. We use AI and advanced data system to do marketing for firms with precision. Not guessing, old school traditional marketing tactics, but data that tells us here's how firms can win. And we've done it with over 100 firms now. And let's talk about PPC specifically. A little bit more niche than that, personal injury. Why? Because the cost per click is so expensive. It is so competitive. Some markets $200, $300 a click, which is already expensive. We've seen firms paying $1,000 to $1,500 per click for truck accident lawyer. It's absurd. But the firms that win, that sign the most cases and the best cases, aren't simply the firms that are willing to spend the most. It's the firms that know how to spend whatever budget it is. You don't need to spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month on PPC to see success. If you've been told that, that's the lazy way. It's we're limited by human capacity. We're using a lot of guesses and assumptions that maybe worked 5, 6 years ago. If you have the data to work through a precise system, you don't need an insane budget. Doesn't mean you can spend nothing, but it can work with a whole lot less. So why has this environment of overpaying per click, which is making firms steer away from PPC, started in the first place? Well, problem number one, so many firms are bidding on the wrong keywords. It's so easy to just set up a PPC campaign for personal injury lawyer or car accident attorney. You're getting competitors' clicks, people calling you and asking, hi, is this so-and-so law? That's because you're bidding on a generic keyword that Google's associating with a competitor's name. So that client, that prospect wasn't even looking for a new attorney in the first place. They knew who they were looking for. We don't want those calls. We want people with high intent. So don't just set up 4 or 5 keywords, do it the easy way. Think about what your clients are actually searching. Don't just think about it. If you are saving this data in your intake system, even better. Ask your old clients, what have they been searching? It's likely things like, do I need a lawyer for XYZ? Who is the best attorney for bike accidents, dog bites? Those are the things that lead to actual cases, not someone who was looking for a different firm that Google showed your ad, even though you just placed personal injury attorney, but Google's associating that with a competitor's name. High intent keywords. Problem number two, your ad groups are probably a disaster. Sure, you can set up a Google ad campaign in 30 minutes if you just create one ad group that contains all of your keywords, your personal injury keywords. It's not the way to do it. Hyper relevance, hyper targeting. You need to have your car accident keywords, your truck accident keywords, your dog bite. We go as far as even niching within that, where truck accident lawyer versus truck accident attorney. The more niche, the more targeted you can be with your feedback loop of which keywords are actually driving you cases rather than bidding on ones that have just been costing you money with zero return. Problem three, your landing pages don't convert. You can pay all the money in the world for the most beautiful website and or landing pages. That's not what matters. Google is crawling that landing page and thinking, is it relevant to the ad, the keyword, and what someone is actually looking for? Not, is it the most stunning landing page in the world? So when you create that landing page, make sure it loads fast, it's mobile ready, it's easy to navigate, and the copy matches and is relevant to the actual ad and those high intent keywords we talked about from situation number one. So ask questions that your ideal client is probably Googling and have those on your landing page, not just best injury attorney all over the page. There are thousands of landing pages talking about that. So how do we actually productize this and turn it into a solution? Number one, those high intent keywords, start with long tail ones, not just car accident lawyer that's $400 per click and shows up for a myriad of things that you actually didn't want it to show up for, but very, very specific. How to report a car accident injury. How long does it take for insurance to pay for it? Can I sue for this? All these different long tail questions that have a much lower cost per click, less competition, and are hyper specific so you can make sure you actually show up for that keyword and not what Google thinks is closely related, a synonym, which happens to be a competitor's name. Solution to problem number 2, hyper specific ad groups. Very, very specific. Literally rear end collision keywords, hit by drunk driver keywords, T-bone accidents. The more specific ones may not have 10,000 people a month Googling them, but they're high intent. They get cases. I'd rather get 5 great leads a day than 50 people who were intentionally calling another firm by name and just specifically wanted to talk to that firm. Quality over quantity. Finally, step number 3, answer to the landing page. Always test it on mobile. Highly recommend looking at that landing page on both an iPhone and an Android. You need to make sure your developer, your designer are building your site in resolutions that align with all your potential clients. Next, the copy on it should emotionally connect with them. Ask questions and write answers to those questions, not just experienced attorneys, best attorneys, but talk about what they could be dealing with those hyper-specific ad group things, such as common injury from rear end collisions or T-bones, or specific laws that play a factor if you were hit by a drunk driver. The more relevant, the more specific you are, Google will appreciate that and increase your Google ad quality score, which we talk about in other videos, but also you're more likely to convert someone that was looking for a very specific situation to be solved with legal help. One bonus thing that we didn't discuss a problem for, but make sure your landing page easily converts. You have about 7 seconds to convert someone before they click that back button in the top left of their browser. Think about whether you're shopping online, looking at hotels, restaurants, attention spans are short. Have a click to call button, a form, that simple. You don't need 15 CTAs on the page. That's overwhelming. We highly recommend actually not using chat widgets on landing pages. Fantastic for websites where someone finding you via organic is going to spend a little bit more time doing research. You need to have 2 very simple CTAs: form, call. Have them available. If you have text, that's awesome as well, but at least have click to call and form fill. The biggest hump for personal injuries to get over for pay-per-click is just a right setup. Not doing it the lazy way or the easy way or just outsourcing it to somebody. The second is setting it up and thinking you're done. This is a constant feedback loop. Fortunately, through Firm Pilot, we've automated it with our machine learning models that are looking at your ads on a daily basis, hourly basis, and improving them. The things that you could be doing that our solution does, increasing bid on the keywords that are getting you the best calls. Fine-tune your demographic targeting. If you, for whatever reason, are being treated in a spotlight by Google for people in a certain age demographic, geo-specific area, gender, household income, fine-tune for that. If you're getting great cases somewhere, increase bid there, lower bid elsewhere. This is a feedback loop that has to be constant and continuous. That's how you win and not just plateau. If you want to see how we do it, you can go to firmpilot.com. We have a whole bunch of materials. We actually explain how we do this, so you can try it yourself for free, or of course, schedule a demo and we'll show you how the platform does it for you. Thanks. Bye.